Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Yasmin, better known as YazSim. So today I'm creating a twin Victorian terrace for the Pleasant twins. So some of you who have been around for a long time might remember the Pleasant twins from Sims 2. They were one of my favourite families to play, honestly. I love the Pleasant family, but the twins were so interesting, I found, because they were so polar opposite, and I thought it would be really fun to take a kind of traditional Victorian English terrace house and create two sides of it, both with the polar opposite personalities of the Pleasant twins. So at the moment I'm just kind of doing the layout of it, so I'm making all of the rooms exactly the same sizes, even down to the function of the rooms. I'm going to do the same. So the dining rooms will be in the same place, the kitchen will be in the same place, and everything like that. So at the moment, yeah, I'm just doing the very basis template of the house, and then I'm going to move on to Angela's side. So any of you that remember what Angela was like, she was kind of the squeaky clean, A-star student in school, and she was a bit preppy, a bit girly. She was kind of the perfect golden child. And Lilith was more of the rebel, the one that was up to mischief all the time, the one that didn't really fit in. She had a boyfriend that was a little bit, a bit different to what you'd expect. Well, I suppose, actually thinking about it, no, they kind of had like polar opposite boyfriends, didn't they? Because was it the Broke family? Dustin, I think it was going out with Angela, and he was kind of a little bit of a rebel. And I want to say it's Dirk or something. I can't quite remember his name. I think it was Dirk or something along those lines. Was the person that Lilith was going out with, and he was kind of a bit of a rebel. Was he? No, he wasn't a rebel. He was more of like a squeaky clean, professional sort of guy that was going to make it. So yeah, the boyfriends didn't really match the personalities. I don't remember them anyway. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going through doing Angela's house. I thought I'd stick with pastels and make it a little bit of a kind of shabby chic meets Victorian meets like... I was kind of thinking of it as like being like a Victorian doll's house almost to a side of it, a little bit Barbie, kind of sickly sweet. That was kind of what I was going for. But as you can probably see with all my builds, I kind of just make it up as I go along. I don't plan anything beforehand, so you see me kind of put a few things in and then I take it out again. So I'm doing a kind of a traditional fridge and then an old style Aga as well. One thing I really love to do, and I don't know if other people love to do this as well, is I like to take like these thin strip lights and either put them above the cupboards or underneath them, which you'll see me do in a minute. I just find it really illuminates the room really well, and they're quite concealed as well, so that's something I like to do. Yeah. As I was saying, that's me doing that there. So I kind of liked how this turned out. I don't know, the layout was a little bit odd, but I like the colour scheme. I felt like the pinks and the whites and the creams all kind of tied in quite nicely together. Now I'm moving on to the bathroom, which I know it's not a traditional sort of Victorian bathroom, because I think a lot of the old houses had outhouses, so you wouldn't actually have a bathroom inside the house. But it seemed like just a perfect little area to have a tiny little bathroom underneath the stairs, so that's why I put it there. But I know that bit's not in keeping, so if any of you are going to come for me for that, I know. So yeah, I've nearly finished the downstairs now. I feel like it looks pretty cute. I feel like it's something that Angela would live in. So yeah, these are two-bedroom terraced houses, and I feel like the size fits. I feel like the rooms fit the size of the house. I mean, and I know like Victorian terraces are normally quite narrow and long, and I feel like the layout's quite traditional. I think from what I kind of remember, like my nan used to live in a Victorian terrace like this. That I remember her house having these bay windows and similar sort of size rooms. So I'm kind of going for like a sort of fairy slash like Victorian shabby chic princess style for Angela's side with her bedrooms. So that they are quite out of my comfort zone for what I would normally build in a house anyway. This really is not my sort of style. I probably fit more towards Lilith's sort of style. But I think it looks kind of cute. I thought it'd be fitting to have lots of dresses. She seems like the sort of person that would probably have a lot of clothes. So that's what I'm doing here. I don't know about anyone else, but I really like layering rugs like this. I feel like, I don't know, it makes it just feel a little bit more homely, which some people probably, anyone that really likes neat style of like decor probably hates when I do that. Um, I don't know, probably some people really hate the way I put the windows in as well because I try not to make it too uniform. Um, I'd like it to feel a little bit more organic than that. So I did I think is it duck egg? Sort of a duck egg blue bathroom, which I know is probably not very old fashioned because I know a lot of like the 60s and 70s old bathrooms, which is probably when a lot of the bathrooms were put in a lot of these Victorian houses. No, they probably went in a little bit earlier. I don't know. I just remember a lot of them having a lot of these like olive green bathrooms, but I just find them so obnoxious. So I went for a blue, and I felt like it was more in keeping with Angela's style as well to have kind of a baby blue, duck egg blue sort of bathroom. So I will be quiet while you observe Angela's finished side, and then we'll move on to Lilith's. And now we're going to move on to Lilith's side of the house, which is very different to Angela's side. I kind of used a lot of the vampires pack for Lilith's side because I felt like that just really fitted in with her style. It was a little bit Victorian, a little bit old fashioned, but really gothic as well. And I felt like that kind of would be what adult Lilith would choose. I had a lot of fun doing this side. I felt like this is really the sort of style that I would probably gravitate more towards. I really like this style. Initially I was going to do a bit more of a base game sort of house, but then I just had so much fun with the vampires pack with this one, so I just stuck with that. I don't know about you, but I really like the size of the rooms here. I know they're quite small, but I feel like they're really cozy. And for a two bed, I think it's just about big enough. And I don't really remember a lot of these Victorian houses having massive rooms anyway. I remember them just being really long and narrow. So I could just about get away with the fact that they're quite small rooms, I think. And I think as long as you've got that lovely bay window, it doesn't really matter. So here I am just doing a very gothic room, very kind of Dracula style, like what I'd imagine Dracula's house to look like. Even though Dracula was, I don't know, was he Victorian era? I suppose it was written in the Victorian era, wasn't it? So maybe it would be what Dracula's house would look like. Who knows? So next I'm moving on to the dining room, which I really liked how this turned out. I kind of went for a colour scheme I wouldn't normally go for, because I don't know about anyone else, but when I do kind of gothic rooms, I tend to go for a lot of purples and reds, but going for some blues was just a little bit different. And this rug that I actually chose, I'd never actually looked at all the different colour palettes for this rug, and I couldn't believe how many nice ones there were, and ever since I've been building with it all the time, and I keep using this rug everywhere now because there's so many nice colours of it. And I went for a nice kind of sage sort of green kitchen as well, which I think fits in really well. So yes, I like that. I think it looks cool. It kind of reminds me of when I was like a raging goth when I was a teenager and I used to play Sims 2. I used to download so much CC that was like in this style. So it's quite nostalgic kind of playing around with this colour palette now, because it's something that I used to love when I was younger. So moving on to the master bedroom. I just think these old kind of stone floors really fit in with a lot of the Victorian style. There's so many nice beds to choose from, especially from like vampire packs and stuff. The vampire pack, sorry. But I think I went for a red bedroom and a purple one, just to change it up a little bit, so I didn't stick with all the same themes throughout the whole house, because I felt like it was just going to become a bit repetitive otherwise. But hopefully you agree that I kind of switched up a little bit and didn't go for the same style all the way through. Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you like big builds or smaller builds? Because I prefer to do fairly small builds, because I find that, like, I love the look of the bigger builds, but I don't know what to do with all the rooms. I'm like, I don't know if it's because I don't have a lot of expansion packs. I've only got apartment, living, and what have I just recently got? Wow, what have I forgotten? Well, anyways, I don't have many expansion packs. Oh, seasons. I've just recently got seasons. I don't know why I forgot that. So I've only got a couple of expansion packs, and because of that, maybe I just don't have as much content as other people. But I find that when I've got a really big build, I don't know what to do with all the space. I'm like, well, I've got bedrooms, I've got bathrooms, I've got games rooms. What more? And then I end up just becoming like a bit repetitive in my builds. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that. Do you just build loads and loads of bedrooms? Because I prefer to be a bit more practical and be like, well, I only have like 4 Sims. Why do I need all these bedrooms? So I tend to prefer the smaller builds. Is a long story short what I was just saying. So yeah, I'm just going for a bit more of a red and black theme here, which I think it works. I think it works with that rug as well. So that's me just about finishing up. And Lilith and Angela can live in their new house, and hopefully they don't hate each other like in Sims 2 now. I'm going to make them friends this time around. I feel like we need a resolution and we need to make them friends now. After all, they do live right next to each other, so we may as well make them friends, right? So there we go. That is the final build. If you like my content, subscribe, leave me a comment, I don't know, the whole shabazz, what everyone does. I don't know nowadays, so thank you for watching my video, and I will see you all soon.